Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History. IOYO, and we will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. Anyway, today is Sun's Day, aka Sunday, July 12th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a 34-page document to go over today, so let's jump into it, shall we? Starting us off in the year 70, the armies of Titus attacked the walls of Jerusalem after a 6-month siege. 3 days later, they did breach the walls, and that enabled this army to destroy the Second Temple. We covered that a little bit yesterday, I think. 15 centuries ago, 1.5 millennia, 526, St. Felix IV began his reign as Catholic Pope. So we have the election of Pope Felix IV following the death of Pope John I earlier that year. 813, Leo V, the Armenian, was crowned as Byzantine Emperor after he successfully forced the previous Emperor, Michael I Ranagabi, to abdicate the previous day using threats of conspiracies. We covered that a little bit yesterday as well. 927, King Aethelus was the first southern English king to gain control of much of the north of Britain when various local kings accepted his overlordship at Edmont, Cumbria. According to other sources, King Constantine of Scotland, King Hywel of Deheneboroth, Edward of Bamberth, and King Owain of the Cumbrians accepted the overlordship of King Aethelus of England, leading to 7 years of peace in the north. Oh, peace. What a great thing to have. 1109, Crusaders captured Syria's harbor city of Tripoli. 1191, during the Third Crusade, the city of Acre surrendered to the English King Richard I, the Lionheart, and the Crusaders after a siege of nearly 2 years. 2 years of a siege. Wow! How'd they last that long? That's crazy. 1192, Minamoto Yoritomo became Sai Taishogun, the first ruling shogun in the history of Japan, and de facto ruler. And we have an image of him right there. That's an artist rendition, obviously no photograph, in 1192. So that's the best we can do. 1335, Pope Benedict XII issued the papal bull Fluxens Sticket Stella Maltitina to reform the Cistercian order. 1450, although he had been previously pardoned, Jack Cade was killed while fleeing, bringing an end to Jack Cade's rebellion. What is the Jack Cade's rebellion? Let's look this up here really quick. Jack Cade's rebellion. Alright. And I'm going to start the underbar of the description section. Links to, like this link that I'm collecting and all other collected links throughout the show will appear in the underbar of the description after the live stream as per usual. We already have a lot of cool things down there, including Unlimited to All Things on the Coalition. The music in the background, our sources, a handful of other things. But anyway, Jack Cade's rebellion was a popular revolt in 1450 against the government of England, which took place in the southeast of the country between the months of April and July. It stemmed from local grievances regarding the corruption, maladministration, and abuse of power of the king's closest advisors and local officials, as well as recent military losses in France during the 100 Years' War. Leading an army of men from southeastern England, the rebellion's leader, Jack Cade, marched into London in order to force the government to reform the administration and remove the power the traitors deemed responsible for bad governance. Apart from the Cornish Rebellion of 1497, it was the largest popular uprising to take place in England during the 15th century. So yeah, if you want to read more about all this, everything, this link is down there, and or you can go to Ecosia and look it up yourself. 1488, Joseon Dynasty official Shobu returned to Korea after months of shipwreck travel in China. That doesn't sound fun. 1493, the Nuremberg Chronicle, an illustrated history of the world, was first published in Latin in Nuremberg, compiled by Hartmann Schedel and published by Anton Koberger. Cool. Let's do an image search of this really quick, because there's this one image of a castle, and this is, this is not printed, this is drawn. Or in 1493, it could have been printed. I'm not sure how you print that, but that's a heck of a drawing right there. Look at that thing. The Nuremberg Chronicles. It's a whole book. It's a visual, this is another page of it. It says it's an illustrated history of the world.
Oh, okay.
So that's epic. It's a picture book, essentially.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you, Golden Moon.
Yeah. You missed the 15 centuries ago, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, 526.
Yeah.
So, but now we are in 1527. Oh, you're almost 1,000 years after. 1,001. Ling Chong Huang is seated the throne to Mac Dang Dong, ending the Li dynasty and starting the Mac dynasty. 5043, King Henry VIII of England married his sixth and last wife, finally, Catherine Parr at Hampton Court Palace. I wonder if she bore him. I guess she had to have given him a son, because this is his last wife. Well, unless he gave up, so which I don't know. I mean, he
could have died trying.
I mean, I wouldn't think he gave up. Like, he freaking fought the Vatican, so
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can do to prove how much gumption you have. 1561, the Trinity Church, now St. Basil's Cathedral, was consecrated in Moscow, Russia, built to commemorate the defeat of the Mongols at the Battle of Kazan. I had no idea why it was around, but now I do. Yeah, this.
Oh.
We all know this. This is St. Basil's now. Trinity Church, this is now St. Basil's.
Yeah.
So, awesome. I mean, just the amount of color. Like, this is one of the most
amazing.
beautiful buildings in ever, you know?
Certainly one of the most colorful.
Yeah. So. 1561, Diego de Lando, Bishop of Yucatan, burned on a large pyre Maya religious objects and most of the last surviving books of bark outside of Franciscan Covenant of Mani. And this is Maya, like Aztec, not Aztec, but Mesoamerican and everything. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible, But I wonder if this is connected, because 1562... Actually, I think I may have screwed this up. So it says, Fray Diego de Landa, acting Bishop of Yucatan, burnt the sacred idols and books of the Maya. But that's the same thing, but we're a year separate. So I'm actually going to double check this. Headlines. What the heck? Why are you not loading things? You're supposed to work, app. There you go. Okay. So this is 1560.
1 and 2.
Well, this says 1562, so I don't know what to say. Like, we have a discrepancy here. Obviously, that's the same event, unless he did it twice.
I don't think so.
1576, Mughal Empire annexed Bengal after defeating the Bengal Sultanate at the Battle of Rajmadal. 1580, Austrian Bible, the first printed Bible in the Slavic language, was published. Epic. Yeah. So now the Slavs can read the Bible. I guess I don't have it here. I guess I'll image search. There we go. So here it is.
Yeah.
I can't read Slavic, but, cool. 1627. Oh, yeah, this is the thumbnail today.
Ah.
Yeah, big old Disco Sucks right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Nuremberg Chronicle. We covered this guy already. There's that St. Basil's there. So, and the title is Habeas Corpus, Medal of Honor, Highway Plan, and more. So, yeah, and we already have a link for the underbar section there. 1627, English invasion fleet under George Villiers landed on the Isle de Ré, forced to withdraw after 3 months of combat and losing 4,000 of 7,000 troops. Over half.
Ooh.
Yeah. And actually, another thing that you missed earlier was the Siege of Acre, apparently, was 2 years long during the First Crusade.
Oh.
Acre out in the Israel area, Palestine,
okay.
Acre, a rather important city in the Bible.
I'm not familiar with it.
1630, New Amsterdam's governor bought Gull Island from Indians for cargo, renaming it Oyster Island because there was a lot of oyster shells and everything. They used to huck oysters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what Oyster Island itself later became?
No. Easter Island?
No.
No, I don't know.
Ellis.
Oh,
Ellis Island.
Ellis Island.
And the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is on another island, but Ellis Island, that's...
Yeah, that's where they came through all the...
immigrants.
Immigrants came through Ellis Island.
Yeah, there it is, right there. But yeah, it was called Oyster Island because back in the day there's a lot of oyster shells there. Natives gathered oysters or something about that. So, what else we got here is 1679. Britain's King Charles II ratified Habeas Corpus Act, allowing prisoners the right to a court review of the justification for their imprisonment. Good. People deserve such rights. Like, could you imagine living in a world without all the stuff that we just take for granted and take advantage of today? Dude, people of today's world, if you put them in the world just a couple hundred years ago, they would not live.
Oh, we're such the exception.
We are so pampered.
Human history.
Oh man, yeah. 1700, Gelderland accepted the Gregorian calendar. Yesterday was June 30th, 1700.
Uh-huh.
I think we covered this back on June 30th, saying the next day was the 12th. Of July. I could have sworn we covered that.
Something like that. There's a big jump somewhere, yeah.
We've had several jumps, but I remember this one as well. 1704, Stanislaw Leszczynski became king of part of Poland. So just part of it. 1705, Ottoman army officer Al-Hussein ibn Ali proclaimed himself Bey of Tunis, founding the Hassanid dynasty. This dynasty ruled until 1957. 1705 to 1957. That's a good long dynasty there. 1771, HMS Endeavour, captained by James Cook with Joseph Banks on board, returned from its first voyage to the Pacific after 2 years. All right. 1774, citizens of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, passed a symbolic Declaration of Independence. Wow. That was 2 years before our Carlisle, Pennsylvania passed a symbolic, but still, what is it symbolic of? Of independence. So, I mean, are they playing or are they serious? 1776, Captain James Cook departed Plymouth, England, helming HMS Resolution, beginning his third and final trip to the Pacific. And this was, James Cook, was he, what was he, British? Yeah, he was British. So, he was one of our enemies during this point. 1776, we had declared. So now he was an enemy of the United States, or, well, the 13 colonies in rebellion. It's pretty interesting. He was the founder of, he was the one who got killed in Hawaii. Huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I remember
okay. That. Yeah, he also, quote-unquote, discovered, he found the Sandwich Islands, which was later Hawaii, but Australia, he found Terra Australis. 1785, we have the first manned flight in the Netherlands. Frenchman Jean-Pierre Blanchard lifted off in his gas balloon from Noordeinde Palace in The Hague. All right. So I guess this, the Montgolfier brothers don't matter? That makes sense. So, cool. That's the artist rendition right there. Alamy stock photo right there. That's odd. Look at it. It's a rowboat for the basket. Can you kind of see it?
I kind of can see it.
It's a little rowboat thing. That one is weird. It has wings. That's
else.
Strange. Huh. But here it is. Again, it's another boat kind of thing. So I wonder, this one has a boat and wings. So I guess they had, stabilizers or something? Oh. 1789, in response to the dismissal of the French finance minister Jacques Necker, the radical journalist Camille Desmoulins gave a speech which resulted in the storming of the Bastille 2 days later. We've covered this a couple of days, So we've talked about the Bastille. We've talked about this guy who has a last name that's very close to a not good word. 1790, during the French Revolution, the civil constitution of the clergy was adopted, putting the Catholic Church in France under the control of the state. 1799, Ranjit Singh conquered Lahore and became Maharaja of the Punjab, Sikh Empire. 1801, the Second Battle of Algeciras, British fleet defeated French and Spanish 6 days after losing the First Battle of Algeciras. All right, the British inflicted heavy damage on Spanish and French ships.
So they came back.
Yeah. 1804, former United States Secretary of the Treasury Alexander Hamilton died after being shot in a pistol duel the previous day by Vice President Aaron Burr near Weaken in New Jersey.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yep, of course, we covered that yesterday. 1806, U.S. forces led by General Hull invaded Canada during the War of 1812. The Canadian Army of the Northwest briefly occupied the upper Canadian settlements at what is now Windsor, Ontario. So we got up there. And then you Canadians pushed us back with your bloodlust. No, dude, it is said, because you know about the Treaty of Versailles and the concept of war crimes. You want to know why that was a thing?
Why?
Because of Canadians.
What?
Canadians, when they get into the field of battle, they do things that are inhuman.
What?
Yes. No, let me look this up. Treaty of Versailles. Because of Canadians. Let's see here. Treaty of Versailles. Canadian Encyclopedia, the end of the war. Treaty of Versailles. Okay, here it is. How true is the claim that Canadian war crimes contributed... Okay, the Geneva Convention. Sorry, that was later.
Much later.
Yeah, but still, Germans thought nothing special of Canadian troops in either war, and the much-discussed Battle of Vimy Ridge Q was a footnote in German World War I field diaries. To the Germans, Canadians were just another form of Tommies from another part of the empire, neither more capable nor more feared or respected than any other colonial units. Special tabs were kept on the CEFQ in World War I, not because they were particularly feared, but because It was known by the Germans that the CEF fought as a cohesive unit, and keeping tabs of 120,000 enemy soldiers is just good military sense regardless of their nationality. Well, so this goes in the actual semantics of whether or not the speculation is true, but Canadians did do a lot of crazy stuff. So, once you put a gun in their hand, they turn into monsters. What else do we got here? 1817, the first flower show was held in Donnybrook, County Cork, Ireland. Flower show. So take a look at this. I mean, it's just more modern stuff. Mm-hmm. It's, a bunch of flowers.
Flower show.
Yeah, but look at this, really old photo. I wonder when this was taken. It's not telling me. Falmouth Spring Flower Show, something. What else we got here? 1817, Karl Dries von Sorenbronn demonstrated a bicycle course, for racing or something. What is a bicycle course? I'm gonna do a surface level scratch. Two-wheel drive, the history of cycling in Poland. That's Poland. Who's Karl Dries? Okay, he's from Poland. It says Karl Friedrich Dries right here. So, maybe this will tell us something. It was on one of these. What was it? A dandy horse, or what was it they called?
I don't know.
Like a dandy something, or whatever.
I've forgotten. Yeah.
I don't know either. But I'm gonna throw this in the underbar section. A bicycle course. If anybody wants to check that out. Why is there a space before there? Okay. What else do we got here? Tab this. 1843, Mormon leader Joseph Smith said God allows polygamy. I do not think so. I don't know. Maybe he does.
Well, they believed in polygamy.
Well, they also believe that the natives are red because they refused Jesus, so as punishment, God turned their skin that color. That's what they believe. I'm not speculating because I don't like them. That's what they believe, 1847, a riot occurred in Woodstock, New Brunswick, between Catholics and members of the Orange Order that resulted in up to 10 deaths. Yikes. 1850 as well, the Dutch Second Chamber accepted the establishment of provisional states. Cool. 1859, William Goodall patented paper bag manufacturing machines in Massachusetts. All right, so now manufacturing paper bags, and this is apparently, here's a blueprint for it. I don't know what I'm looking at, but apparently that makes paper bags. I mean,
what brings me up just off topic completely? What happened to our market? We used to have paper bags.
Goodness.
And then we went to paper for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, plastic.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're back to paper.
Well, they banned plastic, and they sold them at 10 cents a pop or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I think they abolished that. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's weird.
Now we have paper bags again. Why?
Yeah.
We got to ban plastic because the turtles are dying from eating the plastic straws, but we got to ban paper because environmentalism. So how do we move things around? We can't use synthetic. The environmentalists, they just want us to crawl into a hole and die. We are the carbon that they want to offset. It's crazy. 1861, Wild Bill Hickok legend was born as he reputedly shot and killed David McCandles in Rock Creek, Nebraska territory. Hickok was later acquitted of the murder. As court found it, he acted in self-defense. Okay, that's how, I guess all you have to do to become a legend is kill somebody. That's weird. 1862, U.S. Congress authorized the Medal of Honor. Why do I not have this in a picture? Good old Medal of Honor. There it is.
Yeah.
Right there. So, yep. 1863, British forces invaded the Waikato in New Zealand, home of the Maori King movement, beginning a new phase of the New Zealand Wars between the colonial government and the allied Maori tribes on one side and the Maori on the other. So the freaking natives, trying to survive. 1874, Ontario Agricultural College was founded. Cool. 4 years later, yellow fever epidemic in New Orleans began, resulting in an estimated 4,500 deaths in the city. Oh, wow. For over how long, though? A day, a week, a month, a year, 5 years? This is when it started. That's the ultimate cost, but how long did it last? It doesn't tell us that much. 1880 or 1879, agricultural and industrial tariffs were introduced in Germany. Got to make money somehow. 1882, the first ocean pier in the U.S. was completed in Washington, D.C. That's something you never think about. How long have we been building piers?
Yeah.
Since the medieval ages? I mean, what's the difference between a dock and a pier? It's a pier.
Well, a dock is for boats to dock at. A pier is to go out on.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But, But what are there? There are docks at piers. This would be
Oh,
a pier,
yeah,
right?
sure
Well, this is a
could be.
wharf. What's it? What's a wharf?
Well,
You know, aside from the Star Trek character.
a wharf is a pier to me.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's look this up. What is a wharf? Let's see. Wharf. Wharf, a quay, stade, or stave is a structure on the shore of a harbor or on the bank of a river or canal where ships may dock to load and unload cargo or passengers.
Okay, so it's different than a.
So it's a dock.
Pier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a wharf is just a big dock.
Yeah.
Or a quay or stave or whatever terminology you want. You know what? Should I add this in the underbar section?
It's up to you.
Just because why not? The Worf. And you know what that makes me wonder? Because you know about the character Worf from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the black guy. Like
Yeah.
he was the Klingon, right?
I don't.
Worf. Like, let me look this up. Star Trek Worf. What's his name? Worf. There. W-O-R.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Yeah. I wonder. Because Star Trek, I mean, it's about the space navy essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Was he named after the structure of Worf?
Well, I have no
I
idea.
mean, it's a navy series.
But he is not. He's from another species.
That's
Another
not the
world.
point. His character.
Yeah.
Did they name him Worf after the Worfs because they serve on a ship?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Good question. 1898, Jean-Baptiste Marchard hoisted the French flag in Fashoda, Sudan. So if the French are taking Sudan. 1900, and here we go. You know, more proof that all this climate change malarkey is just, well, it's not malarkey, but like, all this stuff that they're trying to push is bullshit. 1900, 126 years ago, on this day, we have 114 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 Celsius was recorded in Basin, Wyoming. This was their state record.
Yeah, that's hot.
Well, if I believed what all these leftist nut jobs are saying, then why is it not 120 degrees every day if it was 114 100 some odd years ago? Because they're full of shit. 901, in Germany, a group of 104 aristocrats presented a declaration against dueling, though the tradition will go on. Freaking cowards. MLB, Boston Americans pitcher Cy Young won his 300th baseball game.
Whoa.
Wow. 901 as well, striking Canadian salmon fishermen on the Pacific coast, resentful of the non-union Japanese who continued to fish, marooned and imprisoned 47. Taking it into their own
47
hands.
Japanese.
I guess so.
Kind of left that hanging. Could have filled that in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Japanese or
See,
Canadians.
I
I guess the Canadians are doing that to the Japanese.
That's what it sounds like. But
Because
they didn't finish it.
the Japanese are encroaching. So.
Yeah.
902, Arthur Balfour, the guy behind the Balfour Declaration, demanding a Jewish homeland in the state of Palestine in 1917. He succeeded Lord Salisbury, who retired as British Prime Minister on 11th of July, so he became a Prime Minister of Britain and everything. You friggin' Zionists. 905, the British and Japanese renewed their alliance of January 1902 for 10 years and agreed to provide mutual support if attacked by another power. Ha! Oh. Yeah, the friggin' Japanese didn't help at all in World War I. Like, they didn't help at all, I don't think. 906, the Dreyfus Affair. Arthur Dreyfus was found innocent of treason in France, and that's a whole other thing. This Dreyfus Affair lasted for 12 years, and it was something to do about him being Jewish or something.
Huh.
So, yeah. You see, Alfred Dreyfus was a French artillery officer of Jewish ancestry who was tried and convicted in 1894 on charges of treason. This event, subsequently known as Dreyfus Affair, was a polarizing political incident. Subsequently, it emerged that Dreyfus was not the perpetrator, that in fact it was a French army major by the name of Ferdinand Walton Esterhazy, who had communicated the French secrets to the German embassy in Paris. This evidence was suppressed by the government, however, and Esterhazy was acquitted. I don't know. Something's fishy about this. You think that they're going to go that far out of the way just to blame a Jew? Maybe he did do it. Maybe everything else. Maybe he was guilty, and all this other stuff is just is them jumping over hurdles, so that way, we don't want to be anti-Semitic. So, which used to mean more than just Jews, but anyway. 1909, the 16th Amendment was passed by Congress. The power to tax incomes. I don't like that.
No.
I think we need to abolish that. 1912, first foreign feature film was exhibited in the U.S., Queen Elizabeth in New York City. That sounds like treason. The first film in the United States of America was about the frickin', Limey Queen. Are you kidding me?
First foreign feature film is exhibited.
Foreign feature. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I thought that was the first ever.
No.
Okay, never mind then. I redact all my statements. 1913, 150,000 Ulstermen gathered and resolved to resist Irish Home Rule by force of arms as the British Liberals promised the Irish Nationalist Home Rule, making civil war appear imminent. The only thing
Stirring it up.
The only thing you can rely on a Liberal to do is to fuck everything up. 1913, Serbian forces began their siege of the Bulgarian city of Vinin. The siege was later called off when the war ended. Makes sense.
Yeah.
We have the Second Revolution broke out against the Beiyang government as Li Jin proclaimed Jiangxi independent from the Republic of China. 3 years later, 1916, the third and fourth of four fatal Jersey Shore shark attacks occurred at Matawan Creek when epileptic Lester Stilwell, at the age of 11, was dragged into the creek, and Watson Fitcher, 24, believing Stilwell had a seizure, was bitten while retrieving the body and subsequently bled to death. Yikes. Like sharks, they are vicious. They're not sea puppers. They will kill you just to kill you, not even if they're hungry. We covered all this yesterday about, like dogs and cats. Like, animals are just evil, man. 1917, the Bisbee deportation occurred as vigilantes kidnap and deport nearly 1,300 striking miners and others from Bisbee, Arizona. How do you abduct all that people? How do you do that? It's crazy. 1918, Japanese battleship exploded in the Bay of Tokuyama. 500 were killed. The Imperial Japanese Navy battleship Kawachi blew up at Shunan, western Honshu in Japan, killing at least 621, according to other sources.
That's during World War I, right?
Just after. Well, yeah, still, yeah. Huh. So I wonder if the Japanese actually did do anything in World War I.
Yeah.
But they were already fighting Russia, though.
Well, they could have been going after the Chinese for sure.
Absolutely.
At least warring them.
Well, probably not then. They were probably going after Korea. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. But, I do know, like, in the early 1900s, like 1902 or something, Japan started conquesting, and they didn't stop until we made them stop.
What year again?
1918. What we just read.
No, what you just said.
1902 or something. We covered that not too long ago.
Okay.
1920, Lithuania and the Soviet Union signed a peace treaty. Lithuania became independent republic. Okay, that's pretty cool. The Soviet-Lithuanian peace treaty was signed by which Soviet Russia recognized the independence of Lithuania. That is very unusual, Or maybe the Soviet Union wasn't as evil as everybody thinks. But then again, there's nothing good about communism. 1921, the Cleveland Indians 9 and New York Yankees 7 combined for a American League record of 16 doubles. Cool.
You want a record, you can find it in baseball.
Yeah.
You keep records for everything.
Makes me wonder, why isn't David Rush playing baseball?
Yeah.
21 as well, Babe Ruth set a record of 137 career home runs.
Yeah.
Nice. 1 century ago, 1926. So, we pretty much started out, because, like, earlier, the 1.5 millennia ago, was our second article. So, here we go again, 1,500 years later, and this is 1926, so let's go, there we go. Guomindangler drew against warlord Wu Piafu.
Okay, there we go.
This word, if you can pronounce that better,
Good luck.
go for it. Well, Paavo Nurmi walked world record 4 times of 1,500 meters, 16 minutes, 26.2 seconds. So he walked it. Okay.
16 hours.
No, 16 minutes, 26 seconds, and 0.2 of a second. 0.2. That's a decimal, not a hyphen. Or not a semicolon. Do you see?
I can't see from here, no.
Okay, so like...
So that's not 16 hours?
No.
He walks world record
4
by 1,500 meters.
So 6,000 meters.
He's not going to walk it in 16 seconds.
Minutes.
No,
Well,
maybe it is.
16 hours?
That doesn't make sense either. 5,000 meters? How much is it again?
Okay, 4 by 1500 m. 1,500 meter times 4 equals 6,000. Because 1,500 times 2 is 3,000. Times 2 again is 6,000.
Okay.
Right? Like, or am I stupid?
I'm. Hold on. 4 times.
Let's calculator. Okay.
6,000.
1,500 times 4 equals 6,000.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I just
You
said.
know?
You said.
Yeah.
Okay, 6,000 meters. That's how many? 2,000 miles? 1,000 miles?
No, 2 feet. No, not. You're thinking of kilometers.
Oh,
These are meters.
Oh, meters. Excuse me.
19,685 feet, so 3 miles.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, almost 4 miles.
Okay. So
20
maybe you can
in
do it in
16 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, really fast walking.
Wow,
you
yeah.
know?
As long as you're doing heel and toe, those guys walk fast. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen I don't know how their hips survived that over years, but they do.
Training. But yeah, this is
Okay.
16.26 1 dot, which
Yeah.
is a decimal, so that's 2 100ths.
Yeah.
Or 2 tenths.
2 tenths.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1927. Yankee slugger Babe Ruth, halfway to his MLB record of 60 home runs, hit number 30 off Joe Schott in the 9th inning in New York 7-0 win over the Cleveland Indians at Dunn Field in Cleveland. They really were done. 1930, there's no longer on either source. Australian cricket master batsman Don Bradman is out for 334 and drawn third test versus England at Headingley leads. Innings 383 minutes, 46 times 4s. What the hell's a 46 times 4? 1930 as well. This is also no longer on either source. U.S. Open men's golf at Interlaken Country Club. Defending champion Bobby Jones won record-tying 4th U.S. Open title by 2 strokes. From McDonald Smith, 3rd consecutive major title. 1 year later, 1931, 45,715 fans in the 35,000 seats. Sports,
They got an extra 10,000 hanging around.
and change. Sportsman Park in St. Louis helped cause many ground rule doubles. 11 in the first game and 21 in the second game for a total of 32. How does an overpopulation of watchers affect the game?
I don't know.
Like, is the gravity from their mass affecting the
ground
ball?
rule double. You know what a ground rule double is?
No. Why the hell would I?
Okay, say you hit a ball out in right center field.
I don't even know where the fuck that is.
Out in the outfield.
Okay, I kind of
Almost hits the fence, but it doesn't. It bounces and bounces over the wall.
Okay.
That's a ground rule double.
Okay.
Or if something gets trapped somewhere.
Is it a double because 2 people did home runs?
No, he gets to go to second base.
Oh, well, this was gonna be my.
So also, if fans reach over and interfere with it, they would get a ground rule double.
Okay, so they're fucking with. They shouldn't be touching the ball.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
So, kind of like that one guy who caught the ball and then they forced him to destroy it or something because
Destroy it?
Yeah, there's some game. A fan reached out and he caught the ball. The player would have caught it, or so it looks like. And then they blamed him because all of a sudden they started losing everything.
Oh.
And then eventually they forced him, I think under threat of death, legitimately. People
Probably
were
got
serious.
death threats.
No, he did.
Yeah.
They forced him to destroy the ball, and then the luck turned around. I think I don't know, but you know how superstitious baseball people are.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
32, Headley Verty established a first-class cricket record by taking all 10 wickets for only 10 runs against Nottinghamshire on a pitch affected by a storm.
Wicked wickets.
But was it a real storm or is that another stupid cricket word? I don't know anymore. 33, Congress passed first minimum wage law, 33 cents per hour. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
So, Screen Actors Guild. Oh, that's interesting. 33 cents per hour in 1933.
Yeah.
Huh. The Screen Actors Guild incorporated in Hollywood with Ralph Morgan as their first president. Now they're almost 100 years old and they really are sagging. Screen Actors Guild, SAG, SAG. 34, U.S. disciplinary barracks on Alcatraz Island were abandoned. I wonder if that was a military prison. I mean, it was a military fort, Alcatraz.
Yeah.
So, and then they turned it into a prison. But
Yeah.
I wonder if they turned it into a prison because the military turned it into a military prison.
I would guess they did, but I don't know.
I would presume so.
And it may have been just abandoned for so many years, and they said, "Hey, a good place for a prison."
Which, now, we've spoken about this and everything, but it doesn't seem like he's very serious about it because not a lot of money was really allocated to it. But Trump said something about opening Alcatraz back up, which, like, didn't he allocate, like, what was it, $10 million to it? But it's going to cost, hundreds of millions.
To make it into a prison again?
Yeah.
Not practical.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just so old and everything.
I mean, like, you're going to have
to what we call...
To code, you have to rebuild the whole thing from ground up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, why? And you're erasing all that history in the process. So I don't know.
And they make good money off it. It's a whole tourist thing.
Yeah. If you can book, Yeah. You have to book 75 years in advance. It's ridiculous.
I was lucky enough just to go there and go to it.
I've never seen it. Well, I've seen it, but I've never been over there.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird, eerie deal.
I'd love to go see it. I doubt I ever will. Soviet Tupolev in 1937, an AN-T-25 experimental long-range airplane piloted by a three-man crew completed 11,500 kilometer or 7,100 mile non-stop flight over the North Pole from Moscow to San Jacinto, California in 62 hours, 17 minutes. Oh, they came here. That's cool. And that thing, look at that.
Yeah.
Now, URSS, that's very interesting. It's usually the USSR.
Yeah.
What's the URSS? And that is a replica and everything, but if we actually look at photos, of the old plane, it says here, well, you can't really see it that well, but over here, yeah, URSS. So that is what it was painted. It's weird. Yeah. Like, were they the URSS? When did they switch to the USSR? Oh, that makes sense. Like, United Republic of Soviet States. Instead of United Soviet Socialist Republic, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. 1940, Frederick McKinley Jones received a patent for an air conditioning unit for trucks, helping to change long-haul carriage of food and blood. So it wasn't for the cab, fuck the driver, they can sweat,
yeah, that's it.
But the product
for food.
The product is more important than the people delivering
it. Doesn't spoil, absolutely.
Yeah, there it is, like a blueprint. Awesome. 1943, Mom's time, although 2 years later. We have the 8th day of the Battle of Kursk, USSR. Operation Kutuzov, a Soviet counteroffensive, began. One of the largest armored engagements of all time. German and Soviet forces engaged in the Battle of Porokhotrovka. Okay. 1943 as well, Battle of Porokhotrovka. We covered this. Hold on a second. Let me move this over here, because this is supposed to be part of this up here. Hold on a second. Battle of Porokhotrovka, Soviet forces clash with German forces in one of the largest tank battles in history. Considered a German tactical victory, but allowed the Soviets to successfully defend Porokhotrovka and created the conditions for their decisive Belgorod-Kharkov counteroffensive. All right. 1944, theories is that family camp disbanded with 4,000 people gassed. So this was a concentration camp for families. That's where they put families. And horrible.
It's just beyond belief that we could be that inhumane as a society.
As a species, yeah.
As a species,
yeah. Well, we're still doing things like that to this day, and we support some of them. 1944, U.S. government recognized authority of French General Charles de Gaulle. Excellent. 45, Chicago Cubs beat Boston 6-1 to halt the Braves outfielder Tommy Holmes' modern-day record National League hitting streak at 37 games. Loons time, 1946, Benjamin Britten's Rape of Lucerdia premiered at Glyndebourne Opera Festival. That's a really rough-sounding name. What the heck?
No kidding.
Vance Dingy's hit only Philly pinch hit inside the park home run. Whoever Vance Dingy's is.
I don't know.
46 as well. No, we got those two. 1948, we have the first jets to fly across the Atlantic. 6 RAF de Havilland Vampires, Royal Air Force, not Red Army faction. So, but yeah, right here, these airplanes. That looks AI generated right there. But this is the image I wanted to get originally, but it see, like when I open in a new tab, it automatically tries to download. So I don't like that. But that's an awesome image. Look at that.
Yeah.
Flying, 6 of them.
Yeah.
Perfect. 1948, Israeli Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion ordered the expulsion of Palestinians from the towns of Lod and Ramallah. Yep, they're conquering. They pushing all the Palestinians out. Occupation time. 49, baseball owners agreed to erect warning paths before each fence. Can you explain that to me, please?
What's that now?
Baseball owners agreed to erect warning paths before each fence.
Yeah. You know, maybe you don't know.
I
Out
don't.
in the outfield, before the fence, there's a dirt
I
path
see.
all the way around it.
Oh, so that way you don't just run into the fence.
So you don't,
Okay.
you'll know it's coming. If you're going full speed, you're not looking for the fence.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Huh, okay, so that is smart.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
very
much.
smart. 1950, Council of Annulment convicted German war criminals W. Lodges, F.H. Van D. Funten, and F. Fisher to death. 51, a mob tries to keep a black family from moving into an all-white Cicero in Illinois. Or into all-white Cicero.
Yeah.
So, first off, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. But number two, if you're a black family and everybody in that community doesn't want you in there because they're racist, you know what? Why do you want to move in there? Because as soon as you're in there, they're going to fucking kill you to make sure that you're gone and nobody will follow you. If they really are that hateful, why do you want to shoehorn, why do you insist yourself into that community? Just leave. Let it be hateful in and of themselves.
Well, you're projecting a whole thing. First off, I agree with you. It's absolutely reprehensible. But it may have been a political move. They may have been prompted by politics. We'll buy you a house in there. Here you go, and you're going to represent the black community, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
You don't know.
But in moving there, if they're already like trying to prevent you from going there, if I was a black guy, I wouldn't want to move in there because now I'm risking life and limb just staying there after it's already been made apparent that I'm not welcome. It's stupid. 51, New York Yankees pitcher Allie Reynolds threw a no-hitter in Cleveland against the Indians, his former team, traitor, in a 1-0 win. Wow.
But let me just go back 1 second on the whole
The
black
thing?
community.
Yeah.
If you allow division, you will never solve
I'm not
hatred.
saying allow
No.
division.
No, I'm just saying if you don't fight it.
Yeah. But if you
Then
fight it,
as
you're
long as
risking
you're
your life.
divided, then the hatred will continue.
Well, the hatred is still continuing. The hatred is even worse. Well, not worse today, but it's really
I
bad.
don't think so.
Well, I mean, like
I'm not out in the world like.
you have like a large chunk of the black community making black only thing. They're reinventing segregation to keep themselves away from white people.
You're talking about it from the other side, from a black community side.
Yeah.
That I can't.
It's come
speak
full
to.
circle on the other end.
I can't.
It's crazy.
I can't speak to that at all.
It's horrible. 54, ANC President at the African National Convention, President Albert Lusuli, banned by South African Minister of Justice from attending public gatherings and confined to the magistral district of Lower Tugela, Natal. That's terrible. Major League Baseball Players Association was founded, and President Eisenhower put forward a plan for an interstate highway system. Yes.
I was going to say that earlier. It sounds like the Eisenhower time.
It is, yeah.
When you're in the thumbnail.
You
When you're going over the
title.
thumbnail.
The title.
Yeah, the title.
Highway plan.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I didn't want to interrupt you. It sounded like Eisenhower's time, and yeah, it is.
Well, nobody else did it.
Yeah.
55, Christian Democratic Party formed in Argentina. Kind of weird. Christian, Democrat, those two words don't belong together. It's like a starburst, How is it juicy on the inside and solid on the outside? 57, actually, no, that's a gusher. Dwight D. Eisenhower became the first president to fly by helicopter. Not that
there
one.
you go.
That's a refrigerator right there. There it is. Yeah. There he is. Look
We
at
didn't have a little more oomph to a helicopter than that?
54?
I guess not.
No. I mean, that's it. That's
that is Eisenhower there.
yeah, that's right here on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is
I'll be
what is it? Navy One is the helicopter. Air Force One is the airplane.
Yeah.
And I think Navy One is the helicopter. So there's good old Navy One.
Okay, the original.
Yeah. 1957, U.S. Surgeon General Leroy Bruni linked smoking to lung cancer. Oh, gee, you mean to tell me this thing full of stuff that makes me cough is gonna hurt my body? Gee whiz willikers, Batman, I would have never guessed. Stupid. 59, NBC used cameras to show catchers signals during Yankees-Red Sox game. I don't know what I think about that. Then again, you're in the open. You're gonna try to be sneaky. You can't complain when somebody is not being sneaky.
Yeah.
I heard a barking spider there. 1960, Orleanoc, the Maine young pitcher camp. Orleanoc, the Maine young pioneer camp of the Russian SFSR, was founded. We also have USSR Sputnik 5 launched with 2 dogs. 1961, Indian city Pune flooded due to failure of the Kanahakagawasla and Panshed dams, killing at least 2,000 people. 62, the first 2-man craft in space, USSR. Once again, frickin' the Ruskies are just mopping the floor with us all over space. I think this is Vostok 1. This is Yuri Gagarin. This is the first man in space, allegedly. Okay. So this is not a 2-man capsule.
Yeah, no.
Like, why is it showing me Yuri Gagarin's cross-section when I'm looking for a 2-man capsule? What the hell? Why are they showing me Yuri Gagarin? 62, Rolling Stones' first performance at the Marquee Club in London. 63, Pauline Reid, at the age of 16, disappeared in Gorton, England, the first victim of the Moors murders. Never heard of the Moors murders. Let's look
from England.
Yeah. Oh.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, but you know how I like to dig into things. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Moors. No, this is the wrong one. Here we go. Moors murders. Let's see here.
First victim. They don't say how many there were.
Oh, this is terrible. The Moors murders were a series of child killings committed by Ian Brady and Myra Hindley in and around Manchester, England, between July of 63 and October of 65. The 5 victims, Pauline Reid, John Kilbride, Keith Bennett, and Leslie Ann Downey, and Edward Evans, were aged between 10 and 17, and at least 4 were assaulted in a disgusting way. The bodies of the 2 of the victims were discovered in 65 in graves dug in Sandalworth Moor. A 3rd grave was discovered there in 87, more than 20 years after Brady and Henley's trial. Bennett's body was also thought to be buried there, but despite repeated searches, it remains undiscovered. Wow.
So they killed boys and girls.
Yeah, and look at these people. Look at it. Yeah. You can tell that they're awful. I mean, some people you can just look at them and be like, you do not belong on this earth. Look at how soulless.
What possesses people to do that?
I don't know.
Let's move on.
Yeah, they look like Democrats, man. Explains a lot of things. 64, U.S. Open Women's Golf, San Diego Country Club. Mickey Wright won her 4th Open in the playoff with Ruth Jetson, also no longer in either source. 66, 10.51 inches or 26.70 centimeters of rainfall in Sandusky, Ohio, state record until broken in 95. 66 as well, start of 3-day race ride in Chicago. Looting brings out National Guardsmen. I wonder who was looting. It's very seldomly people like us who are looting.
Well, so they say race riot, it's generally talking about
blacks versus whites, yes. But then looting brought out the National Guards. So here we go. It's despite being 10% of the population, who does 80% of the crime? It ain't whites. It ain't us crackerjacks. What else we got? 66, U.S. Treasury announced it will buy mutilated silver coins at silver bullion price at Philadelphia and Denver Mints. Well, that makes sense. I mean, even if they're mutilated, they're still made of silver.
Yeah, I mean,
and unless they're
what's
like
the big deal?
portions,
You're buying silver.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. Like between this and that other article, like the linking smoking to lung cancer and all that stuff. It's like this is what I'm talking about society being so reliant on officials, and the system to tell us what and how to think that people can't think for themselves. Smoking causes cancer. Duh.
Duh. We didn't realize that until then. Yes, it's bad for you.
No, we realized it. It's just people didn't want to accept it until it's on official documents. Right here. They announced they will buy mutilated. Of course they will. But until they say it, most people don't think it because they're stupid. We are too reliant on other people to tell us how to operate in this world. We can't think for ourselves anymore. It's sad. 66 as well, Baltimore Orioles third baseman Brooks Robinson voted MLB All-Star Game MVP.
Okay, right. Good for him.
67, a Greek regime deprived 480 Greeks of their citizenship. Why? Citizenship as barrier and opportunity for ancient Greek. What is this? And modern refugees. I don't know if this has anything to do with what I just read.
Ancient Greeks.
Yeah, I don't know. From exile of citizens to deportation of non-citizens. I mean, if anybody can tell us what this article means, who are these people who got their citizenship deprived, and why? Let us know in the comments. Speaking of comments, do we have any comments? Nothing on YouTube, nothing on Rumble. All right, moving on up. 1967 as well, we have a race riot in Newark, New Jersey, resulting in 26 deaths, 1,500 injuries, and over 1,000 arrests. Wow. 1969, during the marching season, serious rioting occurred in Derry, Belfast, and Dunnigan, forcing many families in Belfast to leave their homes. 1970, Tanzania signed a contract with China for building Tanzam Railway between Tanzania and Zambia. That is a very bad decision, because you never do dealings with China. It's 1970 as well. Thor Heyerdahl crossed the Atlantic Ocean on the raft Ra 2, arrived in Barbados from Morocco after 57 days. Wonder what happened to Ra 1, but here he is, right there.
Wow. Okay.
That's a straight up like reed barge.
Yeah,
Look at that thing. So, let's see here. Yeah, there it is. And he has a little Japanese flag, it looks like, or something, and yeah, like that definitely looks Japan right there.
Yeah.
1970, it is also removed from primary source. British Open Men's Golf, St. Andrews, Jack Nicklaus defeated Doug Sanders by 1 stroke in the event's first 18-hole playoff to win the second of his third Open championships.
Wow, okay.
71, John Corona indicted for 25 murders. Whoa. Who's this Juan Corona?
I have no idea. Never heard of.
We have Juan Corona. What about dos? Tres Corona? Huh. It's a cerveza, siesta, festa. What's the fiesta? Cerveza fiesta. The Australian Aboriginal flag was flown for the first time in 71. Yeah, it's this flag right here. The Aboriginal flags of the Australians. Yeah,
okay.
I didn't realize that they had their, or maybe they designed their own flag.
I had no idea the Aborigines had a flag.
72, 12 years after the banning of the ANC and Pan-Africanist Congress, a new political movement, the Black People Convention, was formed after a 3-day-long conference in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. 73, a fire destroyed the entire 6th floor of the National Personnel Records Center of the United States. That's very suspicious. It almost seems like, they're trying to erase something. Like, look at all that. In the entire 6th floor.
Yeah.
Like, little suspicious there, how it was all that one floor, the whole thing. Yeah, look at the roof.
Heat. Look at the heat that caused. It's all bent.
No, look at the roof over here.
Yeah, no,
it's all caved in.
Yeah.
Wow. They really wanted those records gone. 74, John Erusalman convicted of violating Daniel Ellsberg's rights. How? Who are these people? Like
Ehrlichman, he is part of the Nixon. What do you call it? His break-in.
Watergate.
Yeah.
So who's Daniel Ellsberg?
They're all part of it. Both of them, Ehrlichman and.
Okay, so now they're eating each other. Okay. England in 1974, England cricket wicketkeeper Bob Taylor caught 7 in an innings for Derbyshire versus Yorkshire at Queen's Park, Chesterfield. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Sao Tome e Principe gained independence from Portugal. This is their national day. 76, first Family Feud game show debuted on ABC, hosted by Richard Dawson. All right, let's take a look at this here. Yeah, here it is.
I remember it. I don't think I ever watched it.
Wow, look at him going in to kiss the ladies. Like, he would get so canceled today. He would be called a misogynist and, all that stuff. Wow. It's horrifying. 1976 as well, Ian Dury and Kilburns disbanded. Did you ever know who that were? It sounds like a band. Ian Dury and Kilburns. Okay. 77, John Edrick scored his 100th century for Surrey against Derbyshire at the Oval. 79, Disco Demolition Night at Comiskey Park. Fans go wild, destroying disco records and cause the White Sox to forfeit second game of a doubleheader for the Detroit Tigers. Why would they how would destroying disco records cause a forfeit?
I don't know.
But here we go. Like, we have explosions and things. They're destroying stuff.
I don't know.
They're all on the field.
Yeah.
Disco sucks. There's our thumbnail right there. So, yeah. I don't think disco sucks, but I guess people didn't like it.
The Disco Demolition Night.
Yeah.
At Comiskey Park, or Comiskey Park, I mean.
Yeah.
Fans go wild.
Destroying disco records. But then they caused the White Sox to forfeit the second game. Like, I guess maybe because they were on the field?
Were they trying to do something in between games or something?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Like, this is going to require some digging. 79, Deep Purple drummer Ian Paice joined Whitesnake.
Deep Purple's a great band.
Yeah. Kiribati, formerly the Gilbert Islands, declared independence from the United Kingdom. You know, that makes me wonder, how many independence days in July? So check this out. List of national independence days. All right. So and we have dates. Okay, January. Like, it's not telling me. There we go. In the Americas. No, I just want world national days. Okay, will this tell me what I want? I'm like, wow, that's loading. I'm going to load this up in here. Independence days. I'll throw that there. Oh, it's asking me to cookie. Okay. Anyway, if anybody wants to look that up, let us know how many Independence Days are in July. You know, that'd be wonderful.
I know of one. Two, I know of Canada.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's at least like a dozen, if not more. Like, you know, well, a dozen sounds like a low ball at this point. 79, mafia head of the Bondano family, Carmine Galante, died with a cigar in his mouth like a G, assassinated by the Mafia Commission after he declared himself the boss of bosses of the New York underworld. Well, they didn't much like that.
Some that disagreed.
Yeah. But dying with a cigar in your mouth?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, how much more badass do you have to be? 82, Britain announced it is returning 593 Argentine POWs. Okay. FEMA promised survivors of a nuclear war will receive their mail. Okay. Oh, I guess the non-survivors? I don't know. That's just a weird thing to make a statement on. I mean, if you survive a nuclear war, you're not going to get your mail? Of course you're going to get your mail. What the hell? 1984, a car bomb set off by the military wing of the ANC exploded in Durban, South Africa, killing 5 and injuring 27 people. Why are the ANC resorting to terrorist actions? I understand, you know, they're oppressed, but, you know, that's not cool. Geraldine Ferraro became the first U.S. female major party vice presidential candidate after Walter Mondale selected her as his Democratic Party running mate.
Yeah,
Time out. Time out.
Yeah.
Wrong. What about Frederick Douglass's running mate? She was a woman in 1890, whatever the fuck it was.
That's right.
You know, this bitch is taking her clout. This bullshit. So,
well, this is probably between the two major parties. He was an outlier party.
he was in the Democrats.
No, he wasn't.
I
I don't think he was nominated by the Democrats. He may have been a Democrat at one time. I thought he was a Republican.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I got this wrong. Frederick Douglass was the vice president.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So this bitch is not taking her clout. Okay.
Geraldine, we're sorry if you're still alive.
I really don't think she is. No, 2011. Okay. Oh, but still, rest in peace.
Yeah.
You know, this is the 5th time in this show I've had to redact my statement there. Doctors discover a cancer. Actually, no, I'm not going to read that one. It's not marked. 85, STS-51F launch scrubbed at T-3 because of main engine shutdown. That would do it.
Yeah.
Can't launch without that. 86, Stephen McDonald, New York City Police Department patrolman, was shot and paralyzed by Cheval Jones. That does not sound good. AO's time. 50 white South Africans met ANCers in Dakar. All right. We also have first time in 20 years a delegation from the USSR landed in Israel. And Phillies Kent Teklev pitched his 900th game in relief. U.S. Senator opened men's golf. This is also no longer on either, so it's always the Wimbledon and the golf. It's weird. Brooklawn Country Club, South African Gary Player won by a record 6 strokes ahead of Doug Sanders. Well, he lived up to his name. 1990, Boris Yeltsin resigned from the Soviet Communist Party during its Congress, strengthening his role as a leading reform figure in Russian politics. He later became the president.
Yeah.
We covered that actually yesterday, or whatever, right? Like, he became...
yeah, we did. I don't know if it was yesterday or earlier, but somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, what was it, 1990? Hold on, 1990, 90, let me go up to 90. Yeah, 5 to 29. Wait. So... Well, so that was, he was elected. Oh, that was when he was elected. Okay, well, I guess that's when he was president. So that was years before, though. Months before. You know, this is the 7th month, so 2 months. What else do we got here? 1990 as well. Chicago White Sox, Melvio Perez no-hit the Yankees 8-0 in a rain-shortened 6-inning game at Yankee Stadium. 7th no-hitter of 90. Awesome. We also have in Soweto, South Africa, shantytown women stripped to the waist and confront bulldozers sent by authorities to demolish their homes. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Like, wow, I don't even know what to say. That is wild. 92, Axl Rose was arrested on riot charges in St. Louis stemming from a concert on July 2nd. 93, a 7.8 earthquake hit Hokkaido, Japan, killing 160 people. 95, Enrique Iglesias released his first album, Enrique Iglesias. Okay. Oh. 1995 as well, Chinese seismologists successfully predicted a 95 Myanmar China earthquake, reducing the number of casualties to 11. Did they predict it, or do they have an earthquake machine? You know? 96, Kirby Puckett, MLB center fielder, retired after 12 seasons from Minnesota Twins due to loss of vision in one eye. That's unfortunate.
Not good.
96 as well, Michael Jordan signed a one-year NBA contract with the Chicago Bulls worth $30.14 million. Wow.
That's nothing today.
Yeah, that's still a lot of money to us. So.
Oh, God, yes.
96, start a first Super 8s tournament in Kuala Lumpur. What is that? I know Super 8 is a type of film, and it's a movie. Oh, short-form cricket. Wow.
Oh, God.
Short
form cricket.
Now they're
Speed cricket.
So now they're what's the word? They're camouflaging their cricket. They're trying to, slip it in, under the door here. 97, Cubs play in their 5,000th consecutive game without being no hit. Yeah. We also have Pittsburgh Pirates duo Francisco Cordova and Richardo Rincon no-hit Houston Astros 3-0 in 10 innings at Three Rivers Stadium. We also have the prison drama Oz, created by Tom Fontana, starring J.K. Simmons and Christopher Maloney, debuted on HBO as the channel's first original drama series. Yeah, it's about prisoners and everything. Oz. 98, FIFA World Cup Finals, Stade de France, Saint-Denis. Zinedine Zidane scored twice as France won their first World Cup, beating Brazil 3-0. 98, South African President Nelson Mandela accompanied Queen Elizabeth II on a coach drive through the streets of London. That's very quaint, Like, I normally don't cover, articles like that, but, this is very quaint.
Yeah.
I like that. 98, the Ulster Volunteer Force attacked a house in Ballymoney, County Antrim, Northern Ireland, with a petrol bomb, killing the Quinn brothers. 2001, we had a space odyssey, but we also have, during the Space Shuttle program, Space Shuttle Atlantis was launched on mission STS-104, carrying the Quest Joint Airlock to the International Space Station. So what is this Quest Joint Airlock?
Looks like so you can come in and out.
Yes. I'm not sure if this is there we go. Quest Joint Airlock. There we go. Let's look this up here on the wiki. It is the primary airlock for the International Space Station. Quest was designed to host spacewalks with both extravehicular mobility unit (EMU) spacesuits and Orion spacesuits. The airlock was launched on STS-104 July 14th, 2001. Yeah, that's today. Wait, no. Wait. It's the 12th. It's July 12th. This is saying July 14th. We have a discrepancy here.
Somebody is wrong.
Yeah. So was it the 12th or the 14th? So, I don't know. 2002. I'm gonna put this in the end right here. Quest Joint Airlock. 2002, the Hindi film Dedas premiered, directed by Sanjay Leela. Bahansale and starring Shah Rukh Khan, Aishwarya Rai, and Madhuri Dixit. Best Filmfare Awards. And if I mispronounce any of your names, which I know I did, I don't care. At least I tried. You're going to get mad at me, that's a you problem. 2006, a cross-border raid by Hezbollah militants started the 2006 Lebanon War. That would do it. Isn't there a little guy, Hezbollah short guy? What's his name? Hezbollah. Yeah. I often get these confused. There's Hezbollah, which is a terrorist organization. And then there's Hezbollah. Have you ever heard of Hezbollah?
No.
I don't know who the hell he's a fighter? He's an adult. He's not a kid. He's like 30-something years old. He has that one disease that, you're physically stunted.
You can't tell that he has a baby face and everything.
No, let's see here. He was born July 7th, 2002. Okay. 3 feet 4 inches. Growth hormone deficiency.
Okay.
So, he first gained fame in 2021 due to a viral TikTok video, and has since made collaborations with high-profile mixed martial. Okay, so he's just some guy.
Yeah.
That riding on the coattails of his deformity. So, but like, there's a difference between Hezbollah and Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Which is one letter. No, that's not good. The first single pill, once daily treatment for HIV, Atripla, was approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Well, since it's approved by the FDA, I don't want anything to do with it. 2007, U.S. Army Apache helicopters engaged in airstrikes against armed insurgents in Baghdad, Iraq, where civilians were killed. Footage from the cockpit was later leaked to the internets. 2008, Canadian harness racer John Campbell won his 10,000th race as a driver by guiding Share to the Light to victory in the 6th race at Meadowlands Racetrack. 2012, 200 people were killed by the Syrian army in Tremish. During the Syrian civil war, the government forces targeted the homes of rebels and activities in Tremish and killed anywhere between 68 to 150 people.
Ooh.
Wow. We also have between 90 to 155 people were killed after an oil tanker crashed and exploded in Ogabi River State, Nigeria. Yikes. 2013, Malala Yousafzai addressed the United Nations and called for worldwide access to education. Oh yeah, this lady. Is she the one who got shot at when she was, yeah, women's in 2012. Now remember, she was born in 1997, okay? So 2012, she's 15, okay?
Yeah.
So 15 years
16,
old.
Yeah.
Women's rights and education activist Malala Yousafzai was shot, so not shot at, but she got hit by a Taliban gunman as she tried to board her school bus in the Swat district in northwest Pakistan. So 15 years old, she's getting shot, not shot at, hit, and lived. And then later, in 2013, so this was so a year later, she's still going for it. Salute, my hat off to you, lady. My hat off to you. Keep fighting. She is a trooper.
Yeah.
So, 2014 world premiere of Richard Blackford and Bernie Krause's The Great Animal Orchestra Symphony, combining natural recordings of animals including gibbons, whales, birds, and frogs with a traditional classical orchestra by the BBC National Orchestra of Wales, led by Martin Brabins at the Chatillon Festival in England. Okay, I'm going to look this up here really quick. So 2014, let's check this out. But beforehand, I want to see if I can find this. Animal calls slowed down, sped up. Let's see if I can find it. Animals slowed and sped. Okay, is this it here? No. No. Like there's some video out there. It's like they slowed down a whale call, and it sounded like another animal, and then they sped up that other animals, and it sounded like yet another animal. Everything like it was demonstrating that like everything in nature is one. We're just hearing it at different speeds, different wavelengths, and everything. But at the end of the day, it's all zeros and ones.
Well, yeah, it's all vibration.
Yeah. But let's see, the Great Animal Orchestra Symphony. So let's check this out here. Let's hear what this sounds pretty cool. Great Animal. I'm going to add this in the underground. I'm going to listen to this whole thing in its entirety after the show. Moving on up to 2016, Bernie Sanders endorsed fellow Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton in a speech in New Hampshire. That was wild. This just goes to show that, it's all a stage show. They were at each other's throats, and all of a sudden one endorses the other. How do you not see it's all an act? 2018, chemical plant explosion in Jiangnan County, Sichuan Province, China, killed at least 19. Wonder if there was any fallout from that. It's a chemical plant. Is there any,
Good question.
Yeah. 2018 as well, Republic of Ireland will be the first country to sell its investments in fossil fuel companies after passing legislation in Parliament. I don't know what that means. 2018, Sandra Oh was the first woman of Asian descent to be nominated for an Emmy Award in a leading role for Killing Eve. Whoop-de-doo. U.S. President Donald Trump arrived in the UK for a 4-day state visit amid protests. Yeah. We also have world's longest fingernails were cut off. Good. Indian man Srinath Nahar's left-hand nails measured a combined total of 909.6 centimeters or 358.1 inches after growing for 66 years.
Yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So obviously you're just too lazy to cut your shit.
No, I don't know what that is, but it's crazy.
It's gross. That's what that is. 2021, at least 92 people died in a fire in a Kung Flu hospital ward in Iraqi city of Nasiriyah. 2022, Netflix's South Korean drama Squid Game was the first non-English series to be nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Drama. Thank you for turning that on, by the way. I didn't even see you do that. 2022, Twixter sued Elon Musk after he pulled out of a deal to buy the social media site, accusing him of trashing it and a model of bad faith. Model of bad faith, my ass. You're 50% bot. Shut the fuck up, Twitter.
Well, all the information he's going to pull out of it, and he ended up buying it anyways.
Yeah.
But was phony information with bots and everything like that. They didn't allow, or they hid kind of that part.
Yeah, what was it? They discovered that like 93.7% of all of Biden's followers were bots or something crazy. Like, it was crazy. 2023, NATO summit ended in Vilnius, Lithuania, with Turkey agreeing to Sweden's membership and Ukraine membership, quote, when allies agree and conditions are met, end quote. Okay? And last but not least, New Catalonia was declared a state by France in a historic autonomy deal, but remains within the Republic. All right. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. These links will appear down there in about 10 minutes or so from now. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, so we can only bring you a portion between two sources. We have gone through all 34 pages of our document today. Good job, everybody. Give yourself a pat on the back, you know. Let us know that you're still watching. What's the code word today?
Earthquakes.
Earthquakes. Put earthquakes in the comment section. Let us know that you're still watching up until this point. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Moon.
And UVRU, we stream the show every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.